What's going on, people? First Talk here, back again with another video, and today I'm reviewing The Last of Us Part 2. You can actually see that. It's on the back. I hope you can see that this camera isn't the best, but yeah. The Last of Us Part 2. Anyway, Last of Us Part 2. So obviously we had to wait a bit of a delay for it this year because it was supposed to be in February, and then the pandemic hit, so basically they pushed it back to June of this year, which finally did come out 17th of June, I think it was. I got it um, in July, so I didn't get it straight away. But this, I know a lot of people are triggered about how things could have ended and how they would have done it differently, but I thought it was well done. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect and I'm sucking Naughty Dog's dick, whatever. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to say how I feel it was. And I think some of the things that could have been done could have been better, but I'm just saying I like the game, and that's just my opinion. Now, um, the first game, if you haven't played the first game, that was all about love and finding a relationship. Obviously, in Ellie and Joel, and them finding themselves after this whole big pandemic of their own they've had for like 20 years, and then they get to this game a couple of years later, where obviously the Fireflies have now gone, and basically Ellie's like, wasn't I supposed to have the operation so if I had the operation, I wouldn't. I would have found a cure for everybody else, and obviously because I was immune and stuff, she's the only one that can really stop the virus going around in the Last of Us universe. And Joel's like, no, I'm not doing it because obviously he lost his daughter Sarah 20 years before that, and he's like, no, like because they had kind of like that father daughter kind of technical relationship they had. So that happens, and then obviously, but one of the doctors that was on the um, was gonna do the operation was actually important. He's actually an important character. So if you kill him in the first game, then it's gonna come back in the second game because obviously, you meet another faction called the WLF, which is basically kind of like ex Fireflies that have kind of like merged into the to this wolf gang and gone to their code and their culture. And obviously, one of the members is called Abby, which was one of the doctors that was going to do this operation for the Fireflies. And obviously, he died in the last game. So obviously, she's like, I've heard this guy called Joe, but I don't know where he is. And so she basically tries to track him down, and they see like this thing in Jackson, out of like this Tommy's place, where he's basically, obviously, if you remember from the last game, he was basically nothing. He like trying to make up this like warehouse type thing, and he made it to like a little village, and it looks really awesome and great. And she's like, we need food and stuff like that. And anyway, she finds Joel, and Joel saves her from all these clickers and runners and stuff like that. And then obviously, basically, she goes, well, we're gonna have to hide out in the mansion, which the rest of the WLF were hiding out. She kills Joel. It was a setup all along, and she's like, "Remember me, Joel." And then after that, obviously, Ellie sees Joel getting killed, and obviously that triggers her to get revenge. But like a great man said once in a game, Arthur Morgan, which I'm gonna quote him: "Revenge is a fool's game." Now you can do revenge sometimes, but you, you maybe not have the luxury to do revenge, and it's a fool's game, and it it really made sense with, obviously, I know I'm talking about redemption, but it really made sense with that story and how that really planned out, how you shouldn't go for revenge all the time because it's gonna backfire, and look how that happened. But and then look what happened in this game. So anyway, going a bit further on here, so Abby, so in the game you see Abby's perspective and you see Ellie's perspective, and my perspective on Abby was like, oh my god, like I didn't like her as first as a character because I thought she's doing, I thought like she was, I don't know, like I was mad that she killed Joel because he obviously Joel and Ellie were my favorite characters on the game, but I was mad that she did that, but I could understand the reasoning why because like she lost her father, and that shouldn't have happened really. It could have, in a way that it shouldn't have happened, but eventually when you played her side of the story, like you got to finally get to know her better, and they actually humanized her, so she was like, oh, this monster, she's gonna like kill everybody that comes inside, and she finds some scars on her. Obviously, scars in the WLF are feuding, and this guy called Isaac, he's the head of the WLF. He wants to take over the Scars territory. So whoever owns the Scars, he's going to take them over. Whatever patches that they own, he's going to take them over. And obviously, Abby is looking for Owen at this point. Owen and her have a little on and off relationship thing. He gets Mel pregnant, and there's kind of like a love triangle thing. They end up, Owen and Abby sleep together, which obviously Mel knows about as you get further down into the story, which makes more tension. And anyway, she tries to find Owen, and then some Scars pick her up. They're trying to basically kill her, and obviously these kids help her who have escaped from the Scars. They want to like leave the Scars. The Scars are a different cult to the WLF. They don't believe in much, and they're not educated as well as the rest of like WLF or rest of the survivors are, and they believe in like some people should shave their heads, some should not. And anyway, so these kids save Abby. Then we get to the scene where Abby and Ellie first time, and the first time that they meet. Um, and obviously Abby shoots Jesse, who is Ellie's friend from Jackson, and Tommy gets shot, Joel's brother. So yeah, and they have competition. Then we have obviously the flashback, and then basically, when Ellie's go for revenge. I know this is kind of an everywhere review, but I'm trying to like tell you guys as best I can without like, if you haven't played it already, then I'm sorry for the things. But anyway, Ellie's trying to go for Abby. Then obviously she finds out Mel's pregnant. She kind of feels like bad for it because also she finds out Dina, that who is Ellie's girlfriend, she's pregnant with Jesse's kid, and she comes like, oh, I feel bad about it. So when you come back to the scene of Ellie and Abby fighting in the theater and stuff like that, and then Abby hears a like hears that there's some fireflies in Santa Barbara. So her and Lev try to go and find these fireflies. And then obviously it was a setup because they had this thing called the Rattlers. It was kind of like a last minute thing they added on. The Rattlers, they're not really in it that long. They're only in it for the last part of the game. And basically it was a setup really to basically just capture them and just have them as slaves. So Ellie finds Abby and Lev, and then obviously Abby's like, I'm not gonna let you go unless we fight each other. So obviously they're fighting each other, and basically she just lets Abby go, which I thought was a great thing because in the end you're just gonna have the same thing where obviously if Abby died, then you're gonna have Lev maybe going for Ellie, then vice versa, and everybody's gonna go, and then Tommy, and it was all a mess. So I'm glad they did it that way. Um, and what else was I gonna mention? I'm trying to think what else I was gonna mention in the game. I think I covered everything in this review. I think that's it. I covered everything in the game that I thought. I think I've covered everything in the game. If I've missed anything else, then I'll let you guys know in the comments, and I'll check you guys later. Peace.